And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 208. So I hope you guys had a great day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And our featured guest tonight for this episode of the MSK show is going to be Mr. Verbal Riot. We did have a one-on-one conversation on the MSK show, so go and check out that episode so that way you guys can get his backstory and how he got to where he got to in life, because sometimes when I have people that I've had on the one-on-one shows, on the panel shows, would not like to just tread 30 to 45 minutes going over an origin story. There's a reason why like origin stories are done in like first appearances. So that way, when you see the person again, you could go and watch the episode where they're on. That way you can kind of understand who they are actually. So tonight, since this is basically one of the last shows I'm going to have for the week, because as you guys know, this is the FNT Geeks and Gamers Las Vegas meetup week, which happens in April. I live very close to Vegas. We're about a couple hours away from there. And I'm going this year, like I did last year. I had a great time last year. Went out to Vegas in my Lamborghini. Went to a strip club, brought a couple of girls back home, some threesomes, top G stuff, as you guys know. I'm pretty sure they both believe me right now. Obviously, black people would never lie about anything. We are just the perfect saints, as CNN always describes us. But yeah, there will be basically no content for Wednesday and Thursday. The only content that you're pretty much going to see is the pre-recorded videos that we've basically already did on this show. I'm just going to clip out the topics and upload them for you guys. So pretty much expect 2 videos Wednesday and Thursday. And then, I'll be back Friday, and then I'll have an episode of the MSK show when I get back Friday. So yeah, that's going to be what's going to happen on the channel this week. So tonight, Bob, who loves movies, he got food poisoning, so he won't be here tonight. That's the reason why he's not going to be here. And Iron is taking a break from streaming until the meetup is over, because he basically said, I'm doing no more streams until after the meetup. So yeah, that's essentially it. So Gray and me, it's just us, man. We're just the men in black around here. We have to kind of wipe everyone's memory away.
I wanted to cancel, but when you told me that everybody else canceled, I felt a little bad for you. So yeah, what can I say? I'm here now. But
don't worry.
208.
I always can count on another black man. That's what I've always said on Twitter, is I can always count on another black man in my life to save me at the very last minute. Gosh. So tonight, normally we do topics and I clip them out for videos, but I already have enough of those. I just wanted to just relax, have a good conversation, at least on the last panel show before we start, going to Vegas. So we have the show tonight. I'm going to stream some games. Tomorrow, I have the show with me and Labs Comic Fan. And then I have a one-on-one with Jay Viper. And then after that, yeah, I'm going on vacation for 2 days. Essentially no streaming, but I'll vlog when I'm there, obviously. So what should I do in Vegas? Go to a strip club, rizz up a girl, ask what her favorite sex positions are, have her eat me out in the hotel room, have me blow her back out with my huge 9-inch BBC. You guys are liking where this is going, right? Tear her up, make her remember me, how good I was at thrusting inside of her, right? Seems pretty good.
No, man, just no.
Man, if you can do it, do it. I mean, shit. If you can do it.
So we'll start with intros, and then we'll get into a fun guy conversation. So we'll start with the guest, Verbal Riot. How was your weekend, man? How was your day so far?
My day's been good, man. I feel like I've been behind this camera all day.
Really?
I was right before this, I was on Film Thread Versus, which I do every Monday. Before that, yesterday I was with George the Giant Slayer and shooting another video. So it seems like just a lot of work this weekend.
Hell yeah.
But you know what though? But I love the work. I love the work though.
So that's the thing is, are you going to start blaming Trump for our movies not going to be over in China?
So, the funny thing about that is it's kind of like, it's been the big cosmic joke of Hollywood, right? It's for some reason, everyone thinks that we make all this money, from China in our movies. And that's why Disney caters to them and all that shit. That is the complete opposite, man. Honestly, China accounts for probably the smallest percent of Hollywood movies than any other country, right? But yet we've had all these studios like kind of kowtowing to them and bowing down to them and you know, taking black people off the cover of posters, of movie posters for China and all this shit, and they contribute the least when it comes to our movies.
I think it's because of the population. They think because China's so huge when it comes to like a population that they automatically means that if they have their movie over there, it'll just make a whole bunch of money. But it's like we get such a big percentage slashed off a movie's box office for it being over there. It's essentially it's essentially super like consequential to your movie actually. So like I don't know, if your movie takes in $300 million worldwide, you had it in China, they're going to take how much they take, like what, 40-50%, something like that.
They take a big part, a big percentage. Yeah.
So it's like, is that even worth it for it to be over there? Like, you already have so many hands in the cookie jar, and it's like, if China's in and they're taking their big, they want to get paid if your stuff's over there, especially if you're American, because they do not like us. But we love their women for some reason. We love
what they're looking at and what they're counting on is the body count, right? Like, they figure, you know, so all these people in China, if all of them go see the movie, then we make all this money. The problem is, though, a lot of them don't go watch the movies, right? You know, the funny thing about Black Panther being over there is the only reason they sent Black Panther over there is because of the fact that it was connected to the MCU, right? And it was part of a story that was ongoing with the MCU. If it weren't for that, Black Panther never would have went to China.
They didn't even take in Shang-Chi. You know, people forget that,
which is crazy. But again, that's how fickle and weird and honestly kind of racist China is. You know.
Yeah. Now we're at this point where, like, I remember No Way Home did that didn't have a China release, did it? I remember it didn't, and it still did very well.
I don't remember if it did or didn't. I know No Way Home did so well. I don't even think it mattered, but I'm not sure if I almost feel like there wasn't a Chinese release, but again, they contribute so little, man, that who knows?
Remember when it was announced by Warner Brothers that the Batman was going to get this big China release, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, yeah, this movie's going to make $1 billion now," and it didn't. It didn't matter.
Well, and also the other funny thing is, you know, China made this big stink about how because of the tariffs, you know, they're gonna, you know, stop taking in Hollywood films. The funny thing is, man, they normally even before all this, they weren't taking in most of our movies. They were only taking in like a few.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So them making this big announcement, it's like, okay, so what? You guys already reject half the movies we sent over there anyway.
And Gray, how was your weekend, man? I know the wife's been recovering, so is she doing okay now?
Yeah, it's one thing after another, but hey, it's a new week. It's great. You know, the wife broke her leg, my grandma broke her hip and then died, and then yeah, now my dad's dog died. So good times. You know, what can I say? It's just you know, everything's coming up Millhouse. It's good times over here.
So essentially what you're saying is it can't get any worse than it already has.
It can get worse. I think I'm at the low point, but we'll see. It could go lower.
Oh God.
But well, you know, it's a new week.
Feeling good, man.
Everything's good.
Next year, you have to be at the meetup next year.
Yeah, when I'm not pushing a wheelchair next year, yes, I will be there. It sounds fun.
Also, when you don't have to pay your air conditioning fix with your brand new air conditioning that half of the summer. God.
Yeah, I forgot. I replaced the AC and furnace on a Monday, and then the wife broke her leg on a Tuesday. It's been a really
medical
fun
bills,
month.
Air conditioning. This is why I know some of you guys swing a certain way politically, because you live at home with your parents. If you literally did everything on your own with a spouse helping you out, you would feel totally different about things. I know you will, because it happened to, well, fucking hell, all of us. Will Screedia, what's up, buddy? I know who you are. I'm pretty sure you know who I am. But how you doing, man? Hope you're having a good day. China represents between 15 to 18% of the global box office. Hollywood will chase an extra 17 cents if they think it would lead to more. Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense, dude. It's an extra revenue stream. Like, you already have the movie released. Why not put in that little bit of effort to try and get some Chinese money too? It's not always going to make sense, and apparently you're going to have to make adjustments for it. But as a business decision, I kind of get it. I don't know why we're prioritizing it so much, but
that's the problem. The problem isn't like, okay, yeah, you know, we'll share our movies with China. The problem is like we were basically like, you know, we were pretty much bowing to them at this at some point, man. Like it was basically we were making our movies for them is the problem. You get what I'm saying? Like we weren't making
sure.
movies for Americans.
Mhm.
We're making movies for China. And that's what I don't get.
Yeah, I mean, there's definite examples. Like, if I remember right, Red Dawn, all throughout production, China was supposed to be the enemy, and then like last second they switched it to I think North Korea. The Red Dawn remake. There's been quite a few of them that they've kind of kowtowed and really kind of changed it in hopes that they would get the foreign market. But I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like it usually hits, so I'm not sure if it's worth it.
Yeah, because even for us, like our biggest markets here, obviously, is what California, New York, and like you have Texas and Chicago. They're like the biggest ones, guys. Even that doesn't help movies prop up anymore. Like remember how back in the day when you'd have conversations about how much movies would make, just like spitballing projections. Movies barely, for a lot of them, barely break even. Like most of them are pretty much at a loss now. Like I don't know what that's really contributed because there's like a lot of things that contributed to it. Like I do believe one of them is true with what a lot of people say, quality, like the storytelling and a lot of the movies not being as good really does hurt. Like you factor in all those passionate moviegoers that were going to like every single movie every single week. Well, if a lot of those movies start getting to the point where they're really, really, really bad, yeah, a lot of them are going to stop going because, well, if you see 10 bad movies in a row, I'm going to be kind of out.
Well, especially at $20 a pop.
Yeah, tickets obviously increased in price, and you have concessions and all that stuff. And it's like, I know people have like those AMC cards where like the membership where you can see like 5 movies or whatever. Yeah. I know movie theaters have that now, but some of these movies you got to kind of consider, guys, kind of have not been that good. You know, I shit you not. Trap, that M. Night Shyamalan movie is one of the biggest examples of why no one goes to theaters anymore. That movie is a steaming pile of horse shit. Like, I paid money to watch that, and I regretted every moment of it. But then again, you guys enjoy me seeing me rant about it, so perfectly fine. But you know, people said movie theater experience. I mean, now with the Minecraft movie, people are bringing their chickens. They're bringing the chickens to the theater.
Minecraft is wild, man. I don't know, like the theater I went to though, there were kids there, but like no one got really crazy. I mean, it was cool though to see kids clapping and cheering and laughing because they were really
got something like that. Yeah.
And I was like, that's
sure.
good.
I haven't seen that forever.
Yeah,
it was kind of like a throwback.
Yeah,
it was my experience too.
Endgame or something. I was like, yeah, I'm glad the kids have something that they enjoy, that they told their parents, hey, I want to go see this. Because like, well, no kids. Well, that's the joke there. No kids were telling their parents, hey, let's go see Snow White, because we know that was. No one ever said that. Not even the kids said that. Like, hey, mommy, daddy, I want to use my allowance money on Snow White. Never happened. That was never a conversation. They just never that never existed.
Well, do you think Minecraft saved cinema? Like, I don't know, man. It was crazy, but I think it's the only packed one that I've been in like a couple years now.
Well, it's the biggest hit of the season so far. So that should tell you something. We have not had one hit in the theater until Minecraft.
Wait, in 2025? Yeah, yes. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
the only one. Okay, what was a bigger opening weekend? Was it Brave New World or was it Minecraft? Because Brave New World took in 190, and Minecraft I think took in
Brave New World didn't even come close to Minecraft.
Yeah,
Minecraft
190 worldwide.
Yeah, so I remember Brave New World was 190 worldwide, and Minecraft was like 200-300. I was like, God damn,
it was something crazy, man.
Yeah,
and right now as it stands, it's almost at 600 mil. It might.
You're right. Yeah, we said that here last week. It's gonna double to $600 million. That movie's probably gonna, at least if the projections keep going up, it'll be at potentially 800 to 900 million by next week. That's insane. Like
no one could have predicted this.
Those trailers look. I will say this. I'm glad the kids like it. I'm glad they enjoyed it. But those fucking trailers look like absolute dog shit. No one can convince those trailers are good. Those are bad. They're cringe. The jokes weren't even funny. Like, I'm not a Minecraft person. I always thought Minecraft was for losers. The jokes were so unbelievable. I was like, who is going to pay to watch this trash? And
you know what? I played the game once, man, and I was like, yeah, it's not for me. But the thing is though, I know it's a big IP.
Yeah.
So I knew it would be. I knew it would do somewhat okay. I had no idea it would be like the smash hit of the year so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely did not predict that either. Like MSK was saying, the trailers did not look great, but I mean, you look at all the big ones from last year, they're all kind of family friendly. There's other than Wolverine, Deadpool. So there's a possibility, but man, Snow White tanking right before it. I just did not anticipate this going through the roof. Just, man, crazy.
You guys remember that movie? It was with the coyote that Universal did, the animated one, that's gonna have a sequel coming up. Did that one do well for Universal back when it dropped in 2022?
Wait, which one?
It's the one where they're all like bandits. So it's the coyote and the alligator, the fat dude. I think it's
Oh,
called.
yeah.
I
forgot
think
the
I
name
think it's
of
called
it.
like Brave Guys or something or whatever.
I think
Yeah.
it's Bad Guys.
Bad Guys. Yeah, they're making a sequel to that. Like, I remember that movie having a big opening weekend. Like, the family movies tend to do better. Like, Minions, what was it called? Despicable Me 4. That one did like 920.
Well,
right?
Minions always does pretty well.
Oh, like, I love Minion movies, even though they're absolute piles of just weirdness. I love my yellow dildos. I love when they fucking talk. It's babbling retardness, and I'm here for it.
But I think Wild Robot also killed it, and Kung Fu Panda, whatever, last year also killed it.
4?
Just,
and Inside Out 2 also did really well.
Inside Out 2 did, yeah, you're right. Inside Out did very well. I did $1 billion.
That did $1 billion.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like those are the ones that really kind of have legs, or those family ones.
You know what?
You know,
maybe Inside Out 2, I mean, it did so well because, I mean, they decided just to tell a good story. And what saved them is they cut out the stupid trans story that they had planned for the movie. Someone had the good sense to say, you know what, we probably don't need this. It's probably going to hurt us. Let's take it out. And they took it out and they made $1 billion.
And they redesigned everything like a couple different times. They also had completely different emotions and whatever. Yeah. It looks like they actually kind of figured out what the hell to do with that one. That one I think is a no-brainer. Of course, it's going to make money, but yeah, they made some right decisions by reworking that one.
I remember there was a study that came out a few weeks ago that was saying that a bunch of the kids that go and watch movies now are obviously like on their phones and their tablets, and that's probably a big caveat to something that I was thinking about. Do kids this generation really value going to the theaters as like we did when we were younger? Because we were on our phones, but our phones compared to what they have now is considered phones massively different, completely different, you know? And it's like, I don't know if this generation of kids values watching movies as much as we do, you know? Or
gotta say, my limited experience in the theater this last little bit, I think every showing I've been to, somebody, usually a kid, was on a phone. Not during the Minecraft one, man. Everybody was just watching Jack Black do his weird ass thing. I don't know, man. Obviously, I can't speak for the kids. They seem to be addicted to the phones, but you know, so are we. I see you constantly looking at your second screen, MSK. Come on.
My phone.
I mean,
vibrate on these shows.
It is a fact that this generation isn't so much about the movies, and again, you add that into consideration with the fact that movies are just overly expensive. The theaters are hurting, you know. So for Minecraft to do as well as it's doing right now,
good, it's very good.
It's helping a lot of theaters right now. But you know, even under the best case situations, though, right now, there's another reason that we probably don't want to get too deep into, but there's another reason why movies aren't doing so well, and that's probably because of what happened during the COVID lockdowns when they basically trained everybody to stay at home and not go in the theater, right?
Bob Chapek and Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers took their entire film slate, made it day and date, and the only movie that did technically well was Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong. That's it. So they sacrificed training the audience to just stay at home for their streaming service to have two movies kind of perform financially well for them. And that's also debatable too, because you look at some of those budgets to the movie's overall box office that it actually brought in. I don't know if those movies even made profit for them. Like Christopher Nolan left. He was like, I'm just done with you. I'm literally gone. They lost their longtime moneymaker. I mean, no, Nolan's a moneymaker because he went to Universal and proved that he can make money for them. So it's not just like the material he was making. He is a name that people like and going to see his movies. Actually, Bob Chapek took all those Pixar movies and put them straight to streaming, and then Lightyear came out, and people were like, well, why didn't no one went and see Lightyear? Well, Bob Chapek put all their Pixar anime movies on Disney Plus, so families thought like, well, why should I go to the theaters and pay for these? They're going to be on Disney Plus. And then I feel like in the COVID period, I feel like that's when streaming became this avenue that people started to lean on, because before the virus happened, most people kind of looked at streaming as just like an extra added option. Like you talk to people, they would be like, do you have Netflix? And they would answer like, yeah, but I don't really go on it too much. They have like Hulu or whatever. But now, ever since then, it feels like everyone just kind of latches on to streaming for a little bit. Like streaming really did do that.
Well, before COVID, there was only Netflix and Hulu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those other ones came after the fact.
Way later, yeah.
What they didn't realize was that they were shooting themselves in the foot. because
sure.
now they train people to just wait 4 weeks, and it's on stream,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Like,
And now,
And if you got a family of like 4 and 5,
it's a lot of money.
you can wait those 4 weeks for it to come on stream,
And people
You know what I
will.
mean?
Families will
as
wait.
Charles
Yeah.
is pointing out in the chat, like it's
It's not
17 to
Charles.
30
That's
day
Will
windows
Screedia.
now.
You address him.
It's the same guy. It's Charles from Willis Radio.
God.
But anyway, as he's pointing out, it's a 17 to 30 day window now. So it is so easy to wait that long. It's like,
True.
of course I can wait 17 days. That's ridiculous. So I have a weird fog about the whole time that we can't really talk about. Was Disney Plus like announced before that, or was it just kind of a pivot once all
it was
that
announced
happened?
before it, but it didn't release until like 2021.
Yeah,
I knew it was kind of
Or,
during
I'm
it, but
sorry,
I didn't remember if it was
the MCU
before.
stuff didn't come till around 2021. I think Disney Plus came around summer of 2020, I believe, or something around there.
Universal had their fair share of day and date release dates too. I remember they did it for Halloween Ends, the last movie in that trilogy from Blumhouse. It's like, why? I get it, and that's only luck because horror movies, as everyone knows, traditionally have lower, bigger budgets than a lot of the other blockbusters, so making a profit is way easier for them. But it's like, why are you making Halloween Ends a day and date release date movie when that's like the last Halloween movie we're probably gonna get in like, damn, forever? Mostly at this point now, looking at how much has been, announced for that franchise, like you have all these problems, like freaking the whole streaming avenue finally kicked in after lockdown because everyone went, you know what? If movies are going to be on the streaming services and I'm already going to pay for in 4 weeks, I'll just wait. So then that basically trained people to not value the theatrical experience. People just don't value the theatrical experience anymore. And it only comes in bursts. Like if it's a Marvel movie, people, even how bad the MCU is, people will usually justify the MCU. They're like, okay, this might be when we should show the money out for. Maybe a DC movie here and there. Or you have insert other big franchise like Scream does very well. We had a pretty large Scream party there when I went to go see it. There was more people watching Scream 6 than watching Shazam 2. I'll tell you that right now. There was me and 2 other dudes in there. Scream 6 had like a good crowd in there. I love Scream. I really do. But or you have like I said before, Minions, Illumination stuff.
There was a time, man, when an MCU film was like printing money. You know what I mean? it was unheard of for an MCU movie to not.
They could just release anything. There was a time they could just release anything, and it would just do good, no matter what the circumstances was. And now it's
no matter it was like printing money, man.
The narrative completely flipped. Now it's like, man, will this flop as much as this one flopped? They became DC.
They did that to themselves, though, man. Like,
yeah,
and that's the thing
all
that
stuff
hurts.
Inflicted. Yeah. Like that's the thing no one realizes is back when the MCU was at its peak. With like even just let's say the first Avengers movie came out. When the first Avengers movie came out, I remember we had a large group of people here going to movie theaters. Who were like, "Damn, I wish DC could do it this way too." And the MCU fans, you guys saw on Reddit and Twitter and Facebook, they were like, "Man, the MCU would never become like DC. We would never be like them." Well, man, did those takes age like complete milk. You guys are not even just worse than DC. Now you just got no ideas. These movies are going into the way of the Marvel comics where they're just Marvel is known as like the house of ideas. This is the house of reboots, relaunches, deaths, circle spins, all the same shit keeps happening. That's what Marvel
because they went all in on the woke stuff, man. Like they went all in. And you would think after like the first 3 flops, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, this isn't working. Let's move on let's get back to what we were doing before," right? No, they doubled down on it. So we've had 10 years of this garbage.
Yeah, and then what I think the MCU didn't realize is something that I don't know if you're into sports or if you guys are really into sports like that, but like if you ever watched a sport where like a rookie comes up and then everyone makes a big deal about it to the point where like every other team can essentially kind of like do it the same way because they did it. I think the MCU's early strength became one of their biggest weaknesses because I try to tell people this for years and years and years. You are going to have random characters come out that'll do well, but that's not indicative of what you should be doing constantly because not every single random character you do not know about is not only interesting, actually something you probably would want to actually see in a movie, or a character that can actually carry a franchise because usually when you thought about MCU movies, they could carry like 2 to 3 movies. now we have characters coming out that, first of all, no one knows about, no one cares about, no one even gives a flying fuck about.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, like they're making, like, people say, well, Guardians work. That's the problem there. Guardians working shitted on everyone's minds. You think that anytime a underknown character can come out, they can do it. That's just not, that's actually feasible. That it's not true to do that, actually. People said Blade. Okay, so if you use Blade and a few other ones, that's only like 3 to 4 examples. You really shouldn't be kind of doing movies based off 3 to 4 examples doing very well. Those should be kind of like the exception to the rule.
The people who say that weird shit, man, like they always forget to mention that it's because of James Gunn.
Yeah,
right. Guardians did good because of James Gunn.
Imagine if Michael Bay directed James,
which, by the way, James Gunn is very good at doing. He's good at taking like random characters, man, and making them work. And
sure.
They thought they could do that with every character without James Gunn.
Yeah, I think that's that missing element, because I mean, if you look at the 2 Suicide Squad movies, I don't know, there's a huge difference in those, and still, the first one it's David Ayer originally, right? And
typically that one was cut up by Warner Brothers, as he said. I will give him that. If it really was cut up and destroyed, like in the way that he didn't want to happen, I would potentially like to see the director's cut. But then again, it's like, even if he's the exception, DC and Marvel kind of were, I don't know, DC were trying to catch up to Marvel, and now it's going to be at the point where Marvel is going to potentially have to catch up to DC in terms of like, maybe if the DCU gets built out. Like, people forget what Riot just said there. James Gunn made Guardians popular.
Well,
like
he also made Suicide Squad. Like, I don't think that could have been any lower. I don't think the interest could be any lower for that. I mean, who cared about them after that movie?
His Suicide Squad movie was really good.
And they gave us Peacemaker, which was a great show.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, Gunn is that element, man. I think he could take almost anyone.
I know what you're saying. Gunn is like the X factor, that reason why people just go and check out his stuff. No, I agree. It's just one of these things I hate when people do that. It's like, I don't understand, like, when you have like small successes like that, that shouldn't mean that now you just make every single random character a movie. Because if the argument is no one knows who they are, and you make a movie based off of them and no one goes to watch it, well, like, why are you making stuff based on what no one knows? That's actually just straight up stupid, you know? So people are gonna be like, well, do you only make movies for bigger characters? Yes. You make movies for bigger characters, and then if the underrated character is in the bigger character movie and people like him a lot, you could utilize that in his own kind of solo thing. Because if you just make, like, we'll use Black Adam, for example. None of you knew who Black Adam was. No one went and saw Black Adam.
But if they would have did the right thing and just had made Shazam 2 with Black Adam,
right?
You know, which should have been like the natural progression of that story, right? Because
they set it up too. Remember,
he is a Shazam villain. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah,
the only decent thing about that movie was Hawkman and Dr. Fate, but
it's because he's black. No.
He's mostly Adam.
That's true. It's just like, if people like these underrated characters as much, and if you don't go and show up for their movies, that kind of proves that, you know, they're just not that interesting unless they're with someone. Like, or you just kind of build it up. Like Black Panther, introduced in Civil War. Black Panther's not really that popular, even from comic books. He's had runs, but they've been canceled.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's had good runs.
Yeah. Civil War, he's introduced. Everyone likes it. Then Marvel, oh, you get a movie now. Everyone likes you. Let's see what your movie does. Movie does very well for him. Then he gets to be in the other ones. I would always say, for characters like Black Panther, you test them in other people's movies first to see if there's a positive response there. You just don't give them a full movie up front. It's like,
I mean, is that not what they did with Sam Wilson? Like, come on, people liked all the movies that he was in, so then you kind of
Captain America. Then, and keep in mind,
that doesn't always work.
That was always a mistake, though.
Oh, Captain America, Sam Wilson. Oh God, yeah. And keep in mind, as Gray pointed out, that could also fail. You could also set up someone in a way where you give them the benefit of being the side character, see if people like them as the main character. They gave him a chance in Brave New World, didn't work out. They tried. I mean, sorry, Anthony Mackie will always be Clarence to me. How did Clarence become Captain America? Really? Clarence is Captain America?
And you know what the crazy thing is, man? Like, they could have just kept him as the Falcon. They could have gave him a new suit, a better suit with better tech. You know, a little bit more of a grounded story instead of, you know, something stupid like him fighting a Hulk without the serum, right? Like, I'm like, what are we doing here? You got regular ass human Sam Wilson fighting a Hulk.
Oh gosh, don't you love it when how tall was that girl? She was like 5'2".
Oh, Sabra.
Flipping,
Yeah, she was like 4'11".
4'11", flipping dudes eight
Dude,
times
she was
her
probably
size.
like maybe 1 inch away from being a legit midget.
Why was she even in the movie? I was thinking about her today at work. I was like, I watched Brave New World and I remember it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, why was she there? She provided like almost legit nothing.
No,
I don't
absolutely not.
absolutely just straight up a useless character. She just exists, show up that she could do some Black Widow flips worse than Scarlett Johansson. And I was like, all right.
And you know what? It was even more ridiculous that she was doing this to grown ass men, right? Like she was doing this to dudes who were like 6'5", 300 pounds. I'm like, are you kidding me with this? And the weird thing about that character is in the comics, she actually has powers. She's a mutant, right? If they would have went with that storyline, okay, say you don't want to get into the mutant stuff, at least just let her have her powers, right? That would have gave her some kind of edge. But the fact that she was just this regular old girl, who could do flips. Yeah, that whole movie was a mess, man.
That's the thing is what people forget when it comes to ballerina. And I've seen some people make the comparison like, well, if you're going to criticize her for doing that in this movie, why is it different for Ana de Armas and Ballerina? Guys, Ballerina is using a gun. So I don't know if you guys have known this. When you shoot someone, that's going to cause some damage. Like, so she is running up to you, shooting you 2 times, then throwing her thighs over your neck, or I'll say around your neck and constricting your breathing. Yeah, that's way different than someone like not shooting you and then just doing that. That's way different. Like shooting people cause immense pain. Also they show you that she has this kind of training and other stuff, but good Lord, Brave New World. That was certainly a movie of all time. Truly,
and they paid for it, man. They paid for it. They lost a lot of money on that movie.
Gosh,
they lost about $500 million on that movie.
I love how they told people the rumored budget. Okay, so I told people this, even if the rumored budget is 180, let's say it is, hypothetically sake.
But we know damn well it's not, but yeah.
Yeah. Even if because keep in mind, they would still be screwed. They lied and they screwed themselves. So if it's 180 and it's like, let's say a big blockbuster tentpole is like $100 million for marketing, right? So it'd be 280, and the movie has taken in what at this point? Like 420 at this point now? It flops either way if you lied about it, nor if you told the truth. I just don't get it. People, they legitimately thought if they lied about the budget, it was like soften the blow. It's like, no, this movie's just not gonna hit. Sorry. People just don't really care that Sam Wilson is Falcon. That's it. Sorry, Sam Wilson is Captain America.
I mean, the thing is though, that movie was kind of predicted.
I agree with that.
That movie was predicted to fail, right? So now the MCU has the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four coming up.
Oh Lord.
The Thunderbolts it's almost like a question mark because there's not a lot of expectation for it, right? I think if it does well, it's only going to do well by a little bit, right? I think if it bombs, they're not going to care as much because they didn't invest that much into it. The thing they're really looking at right now is the Fantastic Four. If that does not do well, that can spell disaster as far as moving forward, man. Like, yeah, Doomsday's still going to happen, Secret War's still going to happen, but it's not a good lead-in into those movies. Oh, yeah, and then there's Spider-Man 4 in between Doomsday and Secret War. So
you gotta love how they literally titled that shit Brand New Day, knowing damn well that I was thinking about it too. They did Peter Parker the same way they did in that One More Day story, just a little bit more different for the MCU. Obviously, they'd have him married to Mephisto, like the whole Mephisto erasing his marriage and everything. But they treated Peter Parker really bad in the MCU, like really just taking everything from him. Brand New Day, he is starting at square zero again.
Yep.
But isn't that kind of familiar, guys? Where was he at square zero originally? Oh, wait, in Homecoming. He was at square zero in Homecoming. Now, fast forward 8 years later, since Homecoming, he's going to be at square zero in 2025, and he can't even use his spidey senses correctly, doesn't even really have any proper, the swinging has been very meh. He doesn't really fight goons as much. Like, it's just such a mess, Spider-Man, if you really think about everything about him.
Wait, he didn't lose his power, though, right?
Did he lose his powers at any point? He hasn't lost his powers yet, right? I don't think so.
No. That was Tobey Maguire,
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
yeah, like every version of the cinematic Spider-Man, and they've made concessions. None of them have been like comic accurate or whatever. I don't know if any of them even had like true Spidey sense or whatever. But I don't know, man. Fair enough. They just seem to change all of them for the MCU, which is kind of their MO.
Oh, since we're talking about Brave New World, let's look at its updated. Oh my goodness! It reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where he was like, "This is a crappy patty." It's a crappy patty, and the guy's like, "Oh my goodness, jeez,
Bro,
Jesus."
Minecraft is almost at that now.
Minecraft made this in 4 days? Thursday, Fridays. Yeah, Minecraft made that in 4 days.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Marvel, what happened?
I mean,
what
well,
happened,
they
Marvel?
knew though, right?
Wait,
Like,
we need to say the words here. Like Minecraft did better than a Captain America movie.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Right?
right.
We have to say the words.
I think they knew that they didn't have a hit though. Like Charles was pointing out, they did release it on Valentine's Day. Like that is kind of a giveaway. I think even last year
I took
wasn't
my wife to
Dune
see
like
Brave New
March?
World.
You didn't take your wife. You took your ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend. But still, we appreciate that you're giving money back to the cinemas. Good times, man.
I love it. I love it. Inside Out 2 Toy Story 4. What's the new release?
Well, I might be going to that 420 show of Minecraft this Sunday. That's the one where they're doing the chicken jockey thing, and
oh hell yeah!
apparently you could like smoke weed in the theater and shit. And
is that how you
Okay,
have to
now
get
that
your wife,
sounds
man?
awesome.
It's
Like a
not
lot of these
wild.
other theaters are doing gimmicks, like they're doing like pickleball courts and like weird things with it. Come on, make the movies 420 friendly. I think you got a lot of people going there.
Yeah, I heard that this past March was the worst performing month for the theaters in a long time. We're talking like excess of like 6-7 years at this point. Now you're right. You're right. Minecraft, as of right now, was what 552. Gee, oh God, man, this destroyed Brave New World.
that's crazy.
That's insane, man.
And
I
that's
hope
in 2
Sinners
weeks.
does it too. I hope Sinners destroys Brave New World. Please.
You know what?
Come out?
I think per dollar it might. I mean, obviously, like it's not going to be a huge movie. I want it to be.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be that caliber of film. But I don't think it's going to lose money. It's not. It's definitely going to make a profit.
Oh, pfft. Shit! God damn.
Yeah, Snow White is sunk, man.
Did you and Chris go see this actually?
Oh, we went to the preview of it before, like 2 weeks before it came out.
Now,
And
did you want to hang yourself after watching this?
well, we were pretty drunk, so like, well, I was anyway. Yeah, we went to the Yard House first and did some pre-gaming, and then I went to go watch it. So it was still bad. It was still the worst thing I've ever seen. But you know, I was kind of drunk, so whatever.
So would you watch this if you were sober?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay, good,
That's
good.
the point of being drunk. I was not going to watch it sober.
Damn, man. You can only watch Rachel Zegler movies completely blasted out of your mind. I love it.
Yeah, you got to
It's-
build up the
it's the only
courage,
way.
man.
Oh gosh.
And by the
So-
way, I know we've already said this, but her career is
Mhm.
over. Her
I
career.
thought it
is
was over at West Side Story. I was surprised it got this far.
I don't know, man. Like, so agreed. Like, I think she has done so much damage that I don't know if people will ever like give her a fair shot or whatever.
Oh, dude,
but
she's studio poison at this point.
I think so. But she's not the worst thing in a lot of the movies. Like, I've also seen her in Y2K, the whatever that song of.
Oh, the Seth
whatever.
Rogen, yeah. But here's the thing,
Yeah,
man, the thing about her is that she's a very average actress. But to be that big of
Yeah.
a pain in the ass, to be that mid,
Yes.
it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's sad. You kind of hope that they would. I don't know. I would just hate to see what like I don't know, a 19-year-old me would do on mic if they just kept shoving a mic in front of my face. I'm
But
sure I would say
especially
something
when
stupid.
They have
And
like Jenna Ortega, they have Sydney Sweeney, they have a bunch of actresses to choose from. She's
for
not,
sure.
you know what I mean? That aren't trouble, that are good on set.
Yeah. I just have to think I might have been like that same type of trouble. I just know I used to do a bunch of band shit and I would talk shit on the other bands, on the club, like on the promoters, and I would do that right out front of it. I have to think that I would have done something as stupid as that if I had a mic in my face and it could be replayed. So I feel a little sorry for her because her acting isn't the worst and she can definitely sing, but Yeah, I can't see anybody really wanting her as a asset
There's
in their
just
next
no
film.
way. There's no way she gets jobs after this. And I'm not saying she shouldn't, but after everything that she did, it's just like it would be like hiring Zack Snyder again. It would be just like, why?
Oh
You're
no,
only doing
you're
this for
right. No,
controversy.
they shouldn't, man. They shouldn't reward bad behavior, man. When
Yeah.
if you're an actor and you sink your own movie before it comes out, you don't get to keep doing big movies, man.
Oh, and I'll
Well,
add to your point there for a second. I
so
don't want to
that
make this
movie
a
was
full
going to
video.
sink. I'm just saying that was going to sink before her, though. Like Dinklage started that sink. He put
Oh,
a
no, no,
couple
no.
holes in that
You're
boat.
right. It was a bad movie, but the way she went about things in the media, like, dude, it drew big attention, man. Like, it wasn't just us YouTube
It's true. Yeah.
people talking about her. Like, people like outside of YouTube, outside of the space, were talking about her. So she did a lot of damage before going into the movie. Now,
Oh, for sure.
the movie on its own was just bad.
Yeah, where Charles in the chat is bringing up Horizon, which is also a huge loser, which sucks. I liked all the performances in that. It's not a horrible story, but man, yeah, Costner just wasted a lot of money on that. I don't know. I can't see either of those really getting any sort of release anytime soon, and they were both supposed
Yep.
to be out by like August of last year, which sucks, man. I hope he can find a way to like recoup it by selling it to TV or something, but I doubt it.
So I didn't want to make this a full video because I was just going to talk about it, in a box office update video anyways for Snow White, probably just like next week after the meetup and everything to see like, because this movie's performed pretty much about as well as we all expected. Terrible. And then the son of the director like went off on her. He deleted this, but as we know, the internet never ever forgets. So I know it's a little
Well,
small
I mean,
here.
if he's the
What?
son of the director, then obviously he knows. Like,
Oh,
I like to badmouth all the people that work for my parents or whatever.
oh Lord. So I'll have to look on this screen because it's a little bit smaller on my main one. He says, "You really want to do this? Yeah, my dad, the producer of a enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. This is called adult responsibility and accountability, and her actions clearly hurt the film's box office. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want." I disagree with that. That's what literally what free
I mean,
speech means.
kind of
Actually,
does.
like, it's one of those like, should you say it, should you not say it kind of thing. But free speech absolutely does mean you can say whatever you want. But that doesn't mean you want to have like ramifications for your free speech. I would agree
Right,
with
because you can say what you want to your boss, right? But
Yeah, but are you
what
still gonna have
happens
a job?
after that?
that. That's true.
It's also
know?
a free choice.
That's true.
So that's weird. Can I ask, do you think so? You always hear the expression, like no press is bad press. I mean, would any of us have been talking about Snow White, or would it have been mentioned this much if she wasn't the one doing this thing? Like, obviously, this didn't work out for him, so it doesn't seem like it was good press. But
I think in this specific case, it's an either or thing. I don't think the movie was going to get enhanced nor dehanced by no publicity at all. I think people just didn't care already. The casting made people just go, I don't care, because she doesn't even look like Snow White. And I think her actual comments made things worse, actually, because let's be honest here, I don't think who really trusts their live action remakes anyway. No one talks about them in a good manner anyway. I've not seen anyone really talk about them in a manner that's like, man, these really truly captured the animated classic feel. People just say they mostly just feel like cash grabs, which is not
they
good.
do. I'm not gonna say it's a good film, but I kind of like the Aladdin one, and that's just because they actually gave a weird choice for it, the directing, and the stuff that I like in that. It is kind of his directing style. It's not the actual story. It's just like every once in a while they let him do his own thing. So I don't know, but even then, I wouldn't say it's a great film or anything. So
Yeah, I would agree
I don't
with
know.
this. It was basically
It's
dead on
got the idea, though.
arrival. It was dead on arrival. Pretty much, this is the way that I would kind of say it. It's what Aaron Sparrow told, I think, to Wes on Thinking Critical in a video they were doing on his YouTube channel. because it was like this comic book series that got announced for like X-Men that no one was gonna give a fuck about. It's basically DOA on announcement. But then what makes it even worse is the stuff that would come after it, like you guys are talking about, like the controversy surrounding it too. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment without repercussions. Tens of thousands of people worked on that film, and she hijacked the conversation for her own immature desires at the risk of all the colleagues and crew and blue-collar workers who depend on that movie to be successful. Narcissism is not something to be coddled or encouraged. I agree with everything you said.
Charles brings up something. So I think this guy called it like her own naive agenda or something. Do you buy into that it was naive? So if you remember for the West Side Story thing, I think they were able to bring so many actors to the Oscars, and for some reason they didn't bring her. She seems to have had kind of a vendetta against them since then. So it kind of seems like perhaps this was more planned out.
She'll blame racism. That's her next goal. I wasn't invited because of white men. Steven Spielberg didn't put in the good word for me. Oh, shit. Oh, good Lord. God, man. Like, there are some movies that Hollywood announces that are just DOA. It's like, the idea can't really garner that much money anymore. And this is the reason why I think they should think about movies they announce, because this isn't like 10, 15 years ago when people just flocked to the theaters because, that was the thing we used to do. We used to go to theaters because that's like one of the few things you could do outside of because the internet wasn't as big as it once was, obviously, Movies just don't gain that much money anymore. They need to really think about, hey, if I'm making this should be,
If you notice, they haven't really been announcing a lot of things lately. I mean, like yeah, here and there, but not like you said, back in the day, it was like all the time. There was constant updates, constant announcements, right? You don't see that no more. I mean, you don't even see that from the MCU anymore. Like, there's not a bunch of announcements, right? Remember how like every year there was like this big blackboard of all these different like projects that were coming to like the MCU and Disney Plus and all these things? You don't see that stuff anymore. Phase 5 and this giant map of all these different things, and we don't see that anymore because they know they can't do that anymore. And the thing that, dude, even okay, and we haven't talked about this yet. Even things that should do well are not doing well for them, man. Daredevil should have killed it on Disney Plus, man. Like, especially since the whole thing.
Oh, your mic was going in and out for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing with Daredevil was, by bringing it to Disney Plus, and kind of keeping it like the old series, it was supposed to bring in all these fans from the old Netflix shows, right? But that didn't happen. Daredevil's doing terrible in the numbers.
Apparently, it did worse than Agatha.
Yes, and the Acolyte. It did worse than the Acolyte.
It was worse than both of those shows. Yeah, it sucks because apparently this is the second shot at it. Like, they brought in the completely different showrunner and then like reshot about half the material and really reshaped the thing. Even that, I don't know. It didn't get me excited at all. Yeah, sadly, it just seems odd, and they're just kind of wasting a lot of the things. So I hate to see what they actually had before this. If this is
and you know what, this was supposed to be their sure thing.
Like, it was. They had so many articles out about how they now saved the MCU with this thing, and wow, it sucks. I think they've killed all good faith in there. So sadly, MSK was besmirching Agatha. I actually dig it, but I was looking for something other than the cake.
No, you watched that ASMR stream where she was licking those knives, you weirdo.
I mean, that's interesting. I like it more than watching Shares.
I didn't hate Agatha. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either.
The one that people hate that I enjoyed? The only one I enjoyed out of all of them is just Falcon and Winter Soldier. I only really enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier because of John Walker. That was it.
I like John Walker.
That's the best villain they've introduced since like Thanos, honestly.
The thing that bugs me about that show is that it could have been great. It could have been
it had the speech there. Show. Yeah.
Well, good that mixed with the new Captain America movie, that could have been a really awesome movie. It's got so much similar territory that they're trying to redo some of the arcs from that show, and just man, it's not as good as that show.
They could have done like a
That show
Masters
wasn't
of
great.
Evil build up. Like there's so many things they could have did with Falcon and Winter Soldier. The thing about me is, Captain America has always been my favorite superhero, right? Like, I mean, the comics I collected back in the 80s, 90s, Cap has always been my favorite hero, and everything related to Cap. So Bucky, Nomad was a big one for me. I just loved Captain America, and so what they could have did with that show is criminal, man. Like compared to what we got. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But that could have been, like you said, a great lead up into a new Captain America film. The other thing I didn't mind either, man, and just the first 3 episodes anyway. I really liked the first 3 episodes of WandaVision. Like I thought it was going to be weird. I thought it was going to be something kind of cool, something like the Twilight Zone. And
I thought too, yeah.
And then by episode 4, it just became an MCU show, and I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of the merging of those two things. I like it, but I understand I'm in a weird, rarefied minority on that. But I liked those because it was kind of getting away from the Cape shit, which I didn't really care for. But man, hopefully they're going on to a different agenda now. It sounds like they are, but I think the first thing that we were supposed to see was this Daredevil thing, and I don't know that they've fixed it yet.
And don't forget, we still have Ironheart.
Yeah, well,
like that's
but that's been
coming.
Shelved for what, like 4 years or something. So
you know what though? It's coming. It's happening this year.
That's gonna come out and go like that one deaf bitch. Echo.
Oh, Echo.
Yeah, it just came and went. No one remembers. No one cares. They're just like, all right.
It's gonna bring Mephisto into canon though. So come on, man.
Played by Anthony Ramos, right? I don't know. He's gonna be a villain. Anthony Ramos. Holy fucking shit, dude.
I can't think that it's going to be a product of that same time where they were doing like the Kate Bishop thing, the She-Hulk thing. Like I think it's going to be part of that same agenda. I don't know how it's not going to be.
Well, of course it is
more
man.
of the same.
But who walked in and destroyed the previous Daredevil show that was working on when the people were working on it? It was Kevin Feige. Remember, it was that all the articles came out saying that Kevin Feige didn't like the way that the shows were receiving the criticism, so he went to the
Daredevil
Daredevil
set, Foggy in it
like
at all, and supposedly it was mainly a courtroom drama. So I don't know. From watching the courtroom scenes in this, if some of those are still the same ones, yeah, I think it's a really good idea to pivot away from that. But man, the rest of it's still not enough.
It's like I tell people you would have to blame Kevin Feige for that because everyone knows he went in, didn't like what they were doing Daredevil, shut it all down, and said start over from scratch. So
we had to go most of the season without the costume, which was stupid to me.
Which is crazy because that was rumored as to one of the reasons why he didn't like the other Daredevil show they were building before that. He said he wasn't going to be in the costume until episode 4, and they were like, I don't like that. So it's like, I just don't get it. It's like, even when he comes in and fixes something, it still ends up being a disaster. I don't even know if this guy even knows what he's looking at anymore. You know?
Well, this season, he didn't get the costume until episode 6. Oh,
fucking God.
I mean, I guess the very first thing is a reshoot. So, like, that never happened. So you get that first fight between him and Bullseye, but is that enough?
We get 5 minutes of him in the suit in the first episode, and then we don't see the suit again until episode 6.
Yeah, which I think in the original one, it was just going to be nothing until 6. So, I don't know. Well, it just doesn't seem like enough.
Gosh. Well, what else is here? Oh, fucking hell. Anthony Mackie decided to open his mouth again. But he made a promise. Everyone. The promise is that Avengers Doomsday is going to have the old Marvel feeling. So did he just like say the quiet part out loud when all of us have been saying, yeah, this doesn't feel like how it used to be. This feels very just garbage.
Yeah.
So I hope more people understand when enough people are saying something, it's not because they're hateful, bigot, racist, whatever, insert buzzword. It's because maybe they're saying it because they genuinely don't feel like what they've been watching in a franchise they've been here for since the very beginning is going to work. Keep in mind, I've been with the MCU literally since it began. So I remember all the highs of it. And when people go, man, it's going to get back, man. It's going to be back in the day where it's the highs are always there. It's like, I hope, because right now it seems like there's no highs at all coming anytime soon. Just saying that, you know?
Oh, yeah, Lord. I mean, they've so I don't know the context of where he's saying that, but you know, even if you take it as like the best possible way of saying it, like okay, Brave New World, it did have a different look to it. It didn't look exactly like those, kind of classic MCU ones. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how he's saying that it's going to have that old feeling, but it didn't have that feeling. So,
Here
and
is his
also you're getting
quote.
Russo brothers back.
His quote is, "Everybody's excited. I feel with the script and having the Russo brothers back, it's going to give the audience that old Marvel feeling that they always had." So this implies that we're right, that this doesn't feel like the way it used to be. It feels like garbage. Well, leave it to the black man to, say what's true in the world, which I thought I never would say, given that Carmelo, that certain case going on right now with the whole stabbing thing in Texas, when they made an update about that, and that was very, very bad. Oh, God, man. Jeez. I hate the justice system sometimes. Good Lord. What else is out there in the world? But yeah, I mean, this will probably be its own thing to talk about. I did make a few videos on this already because it's for the Harry Potter TV series, but this did get confirmed. Papa Ezediu is officially confirmed to play Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter television series. Yeah, the resemblance is canny here, swallow skin,
Almost no one looks like
I
Rick,
don't understand
man.
this decision at all.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is, it is closer to Snape's actual age in the book. He should be closer to Lily and James, Harry Potter's parents' age, so he should be a little bit younger. But man, I would definitely take that. I wouldn't care about the age as long as I got Rickman. But
Labs, what's up, man?
since he's not an option, it does seem like a weird choice. But again, people were talking about it, so I don't know. Is this part of that whole no press is bad press? Would we be talking about it if they just cast some guy who looked like Alan Rickman?
This is what they had said in the press, that this was going to be a faithful adaptation of the books. So it's crazy how, I don't know, trades could just lie like that. If anyone thinks that this is faithful to this, I just blind. Sorry. That's, God, man.
Well, what's crazy is J.K. Rowling signed off on this. So,
and that's the thing, is I told people this. If she is a head person on this, like she's the head honcho, she's like in TV they're called showrunners. She's the head showrunner of this. Just pointing it out there. She's probably the one that made the decision to do it.
yeah.
Just pointing it out there. Keep in mind, I don't really believe she's this I don't like people keep saying she's some sort of weird conservative in disguise. No, she's disagreed with them on one thing, and they're just so fucking big of lunatics that they just can't help but someone disagrees with them. Because David Zaslav has mentioned that if she's going to be a part of this, she's going to be running it for the most part. I believe she made this decision, honestly. Because every decision will go through her. It's her IP. She has the best contract out of most of these people for a created IP for herself. Her royalties from the books, any adaptations, the movies and everything. I would believe that she signed off on this and she agreed to it. But that's just my opinion.
It sounds believable, especially based off of kind of it seems like part of her MO. There was quite some time where the whole Dumbledore is gay thing happened. She kind of retroactively changed that. She also changed Hermione to be black before, and just no, you guys just all assume that she was white, but really, if you read it, I never gave that description. I'm assuming it would be the exact same information with Snape. It's no, we just said that his skin is sallow, so that's on you for not assuming that he could be this complexion. So I don't know. It seems like it's kind of more of what she's doing, but fair enough. If they get really good actors in the roles, it could still work. But fair enough. It does not look like the character from the books that she signed off on the art before.
I always say this.
I think a lot of people forget too. J.K. Rowling, I mean, she's against all the trans stuff, but at the same time, she is still fairly woke. I mean, she's very much a feminist. She's very much, outside of the trans stuff, she's literally just a leftist. No, I mean, really, she really is. So, I mean, so this isn't a surprise to me, but at the same time, I just feel like if you're Warner Brothers, you should have fought against this a little bit.
Yeah. Sleet, snow, and other weather. Yep. God, that's exactly what the black guy looks like. I don't get it with people. Like, I don't get the whole. I don't like race swaps in any capacity, really. Like, it's really hard for me to agree with them, and they have to be in like very specific, like case by case basis kind of things. But it's one of these things that people on Twitter always say. It's like, well, if you get the best actor for the job, then it won't matter, right? And it's like, but that automatically is one of those things where why can't I have an accurate description of someone and they be a good actor? Why can't I have both of them? Because it feels like people can't even hold two thoughts in their head anymore. It just feels like it has to be literally one or the other. And it's like, no, you can have both. They just don't want to do both because they're just being lazy. And people always ask like why I just get angry at race swaps. And it's like, it's just lazy. Why do people like them? They're lazy, they're stupid, they make no sense, really. If you really actually think about it, they make no sense, really. Like, if anyone wants Batman to be
in
black,
what way are you saying
like,
they make no sense?
I don't know. I feel like they cause way more controversy than they need to. I feel like if you just
But
cast
could that not be publicity?
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, it kind of makes sense. So for like the Oscars so white and the I'm forgetting what a couple of the other controversies were, but they essentially made like quotas. So in one way, it makes sense to
oh no, I know they're there.
Start doing some race swipes and that have
DEI,
more diversity in there, so that it could actually get your film recognized. On the other hand, it would also get people talking about it. So it's like it feels like it makes sense for a couple of reasons, but it better not take away from the story. I'm not at all saying that Snow White is good or anything like that, but they at least changed it from like fair didn't actually mean like fair skin anymore. Now they meant like fair and just, like they're trying to do like an equivocation on what that word actually means, which fair enough. They're kind of trying to write it into the story so that it makes sense, where there's other ones where it just feels like it's shoehorned in. I don't know. There's a few of them that seem like really awesome. Like, I don't know. The one that always gets brought up is like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Like, I've got no issue with that. I mean, from what I remember in the comics, it was
a race swap, though. I heard people use that before. That's not really a race swap. That was a character created in the Ultimate Universe. That was just to be a different version of Nick Fury. It's not really a race swap.
So would that not be the same thing that like you get kind of pissed off about like the Miles Morales? Wouldn't that be like another version? Or
I don't really call it a race swap either. That's more like that's just a different variant of a character. A race swap would be like if you casted Peter Parker and you would make him black. That'd be a race swap.
Yeah, that's a race swap. But even with that said, though, I mean, even Miles Morales is kind of a cope. You know, like I feel like, you know what I mean? Like I look, I like the character I do as far as the Spider-Verse goes, but outside of that, I feel like, especially with Marvel Comics, they've been trying to make Miles happen for so long, man. And it's kind of like Miss Marvel. You know, these are books that don't sell, but they keep trying to force it in. They keep trying to force it in. If you look at the stuff they're doing with Miss Marvel right now in Marvel Comics, it is ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous. They are trying to shoehorn in. They're retconning the X-Men to say she's always been an X-Men. She's always been part of the original team.
You know,
with Cyclops and Jerry and Iceman.
She was there in the death of the Phoenix. She was there, man. You don't remember? You remember?
She was there when Beast was just a dude.
See, I miss when Marvel was clever enough. See, I mean, they're going to tackle this in the Thunderbolts, I guess, but the character of the Sentry, right? The way they went about the Sentry's like origin and how he's always been a part of Marvel and no one knew about it. The way they did that was so smart, right? Because it involved Reed Richards and some real fuckery he did. That's a smart way of doing it. The way they're doing it with Miss Marvel is dumb.
They've tried every gimmick with Miss Marvel. They announced her death because that's what they do. They want you to get shocked, but they announce the character's death, which is so stupid. Then Miss Marvel
only worked one time, and that was with Superman. Like back in the 90s, when Superman died, that was a big deal. No one's falling for that no more.
Like they announced Miss Marvel dying, and then they were like, "Yeah, she's gonna get a 4-issue miniseries written by Kamala Khan and this other writer." No one cared. No one bought it. It didn't sell. They keep
none of her books ever sold.
She gets to like what, maybe 10 issues, maybe, and they just get completely canceled. Same with Captain Marvel. Same with Blue Beetle. Miles Morales. I'm surprised Miles Morales' new title with Cody Ziegler doing it. I'm surprised that shit hadn't gotten canceled. That's on like its 30th issue. Marvel will cancel that and reboot it to a new #1 very soon.
Yeah, because they keep trying to make it happen, and it's like obviously your audience is telling you that we don't care about those characters, but they're trying to make you care.
Yeah. Oh God, like it's the same way they keep doing it with the Suicide Squad for DC. Like every Suicide Squad, it's like I like the Suicide Squad, I do, but I understand it's just not a popular group. It's just not gonna sell. It doesn't.
No, it's a well. See, that's the thing, man. It's a niche group. Like for me, I back in the day, I love the Suicide Squad, like the comic. I collected the books. I collected that. I collected Guardians back in the day. I was reading Guardians before they were the team they are now. Like before Star-Lord was even part of the team, right? So, but the thing is, it was a very niche book, and it wasn't like the popular buy. But what they're trying to do is take these niche characters without a good storyteller behind it. And they're trying to just throw them on the screen and they don't work.
Yeah. Oh God. Or the same way they try to do it with like I don't know, it's the same way they treat like the X-Men in the comic books, which is so bad. They'll always randomly take out Professor X. It's like why? It just makes no sense at all. Oh Lord. Lap says, yeah, like 95% of the time that it's talked about, it doesn't lead to success. Yeah, like some of these things that are brought up. I'll say, like, to Gray's point, the whole not all publicity is good publicity thing. Like, you also have to kind of consider, like, does it ever really lead to a success, though? Like, I don't know how many times it has. It drums up controversy, which is what the studios like, but I don't know if
it's
it ever
in the
leads,
zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. People are talking about it, but you're right. Like, just because people talk about, say, like
the sales. Yeah.
No, like the Acolyte. It was all over social media not too long ago. It did not.
Acolyte's the most talked about Star Wars product currently right now. And Disney were like, I'm still not bringing this back. It's crazy. It's like Disney apparently likes LGBTQ people, but then put all of them out of work. It's so crazy how these people will buy into Disney's bullshit. Then Disney will go, I don't like you, and I only use you because I know you're stupid and you just believe anything we say, and we'll pretty much show you why we're pieces of shit to you. But then they'll still get on their fucking knees and suck off that Mickey Mouse dick. They want it down their throats. It's like, you don't just put all you guys out of work, right? That they're not good company. No, but like, I really believe in like my flags and my vagina. Like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with you people? Just admit you just believe company bullshit.
Well,
like,
they're trying to steer away from that now, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah. Oh my God. The biggest example is when The Last Jedi came out. Remember, like everyone were from what I remember, I used to watch Collider a lot because it had Dan Murrell on there. Or those Screen Junkies. Not those Screen Junkies with Dan Murrell with Andy Signor. But Collider is one for a lot of people where you guys remember Collider? People used to watch them a lot. Last Jedi rolls around. And The Last Jedi was the movie that really showed people who really wanted to be in the studio's favor, to be a shill, and then who wanted to be like someone that didn't care if they were going to get free invites to a premiere or those loot crates you used to get. They liked you enough, they would send you a loot crate. Remember, Christopher Harloff admitted on a panel on Collider that he said a bunch of nice things about Star Wars movies and TV shows just so that the fact that he could get an invite to the Star Wars celebration in Europe that year when they were doing it with Obi-Wan when that's
it would have been kind of cool.
Came out. So you knew on the Collider panel when they all kept saying The Last Jedi is a great movie. And I'm not saying the fact that if you said The Last Jedi was a good movie, I'm saying you're a bought and paid for a show because, some people do that. Like, I'm not the person where if you give me an opinion that I don't like, I'm not going to assume you're a shill. But the context of the Collider one, guys, is mostly like all these people said The Last Jedi was a good movie. And then you look at their videos the day before. Oh, my God, they're all at the premiere. These are all bought and paid for. Oh, shit. These guys are just fucking duping you, And that's like where I feel like movies and like how people talk about them kind of started blowing up to the point where it's hard to just trust people if they're saying what they actually believe. Because I've watched reviewers say opinions on movies that I don't agree with at all. But if I know you actually believe that, I'm cool with it because I know it's genuine. It's very hard to know if someone's being actually genuine with their opinions when it comes to like these media outlets where they're given these invites to these, premieres, because the people don't actually know this, though. It's like, if I got an invite from Warner Brothers to see Superman, well, it's like, if I shit on the movie, why would they, from a business point of view, invite me to their next DC movie? I would be considered bad press.
Business point of view, why would you ever be invited to the first one? I mean,
True.
come on.
Well, hold on. Riot knows I'm a professional.
I mean, people get invited to these things for different reasons all the time.
Oh,
so
true.
It's not, but getting invited back is the question, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, if you get invited and then you shit on the film, then it's like you're probably not going to be.
They always give you freebies, though.
You know what I mean?
What I've noticed is movies give you free, like Jurassic World Dominion. Everyone's going to be shitting on that one. That's just a freebie, you know. But how many freebies do these studios really take the shit on a movie?
I'll give you a great example. I remember, so me and Chris Gore and Alan went to the premiere. We went to a special screening before the movie came out of Indiana Jones, right, the new one, and it was at Disney Studios. So they invited us to Disney Studios. Man, they had full-on spread of food and liquor and all kind of stuff. Like they were wining and dining us, right?
Did it help?
That, by the way, that never happens. When you go to these film premieres, they don't have all that stuff waiting for you. They don't have like a full-on buffet, and you know what I mean. So it just showed you how insecure they were about the film, right? So yeah, once we got in there and watched the film, it was hot garbage, man, and we have not been invited back since. Because we trashed
that
the
sucks.
shit out of that film.
Remember the good old gift bags? Apparently, you used to get. How were those gift bags back in the day? You used to get. We used to hype those up.
Like, you know, those shields, man. Like for them, it's all about the access, man, and they'll do whatever they have to hold on to it, man. The Acolyte, people ate off of that, man. And I don't just mean us. I mean like the shields. They really ate because they were getting invited to the studios, getting these expensive gift bags. Like it was wild.
Yeah,
that's why the
awesome.
Shields went on the attack, man. That's why they came after people because
Miss Geeky Sparkle, Miss Geeky Sparkles. Oh my god!
All of them. Star Wars. What was the name of that group of that husband and wife team?
Star Wars Explained.
Star Wars Explained.
Yeah,
all of them went after Katarn. They all would.
Katarn went straight retard
after us, man. And it was not so much even. I want to say us. I mean just us in general, but specifically they went after Nerdrotic. They went after Ryan Kennel. They went after Geeks and Gamers, like specifically. I remember that.
Yeah.
And to shut them up because they were messing with their bread. You know what I mean?
And then remember Star Wars Theory exposed that Star Wars Explained that couple.
Oh, that was husband. A beautiful video, man.
Remember there's a part where he
watched that to this day.
I rewatched that video just for laughs most of the time. There's a part in the video, remember, where he's like, man, I'm pretty sure this guy just loves when he gets the fucking dildo up his ass from his wife for being a good boy.
That's one of the best videos of last year, man. Like that's the
best video he's ever done. I gotta give credit for that. He exposed all the receipts. Like, there's such bought and paid for shows. That girl, Lily, who's that fucking dude's wife.
Yeah, she's the worst.
You know she pegs that guy. That dude is her cuck fetish. Oh, dude, my God.
Have you seen it? Look,
I heard their views and subs just tanked after they got exposed.
He has a beard to her. You know what I mean? Like that dude, there's no way he's straight. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Like, Star Wars Explained got exposed. Cal Katarn, that one... All that girl with the red hair, Sayer.
Yeah.
She's another clown.
Well, Cal Katarn blocked me because I called him out. Yeah, and the problem, and then I found out from somebody else. I forgot. I think it was Kada who said that he what he was doing was he was blocking black people because he couldn't be seen arguing with the black person online.
I remember that.
I was like, damn, that's crazy.
That Star Wars camp is not eating good at all right now. The only thing that they have is there's only coming up is Andor season 2, and you have Mandalorian and Grogu, and then
they have Tales of the Underworlds coming out too for Disney Plus.
What happened to that one kid show that came out that no one talked about?
Skeleton Crew. Apparently, it was better than most people said thought it would be, man. But no one watched it.
Yeah, brand fatigue.
I'm one of the few that did. It was better than a lot of the shit that the Star Wars has put out recently. I would put it up there with like, it's behind the first couple seasons of Mandalorian and behind Andor, but it's up there. If you like those 80s movies like The Explorers, like Goonies, it really hits all of those notes. So for me, it was like just nostalgia. I dug it, but yeah, there is no goodwill, no confidence in Star Wars at this point. It's all gone. They've killed it.
Jesus.
Because I knew something was off with Star Wars when first of all, they would announce stuff that would never come out, and then more reports got leaked even the bigger trade started shitting on them for announcing stuff that never came out. And then it was reported that they're going to be taking a break from releasing Star Wars projects because they announced like 20 of them.
Yeah.
5 of them came out.
The Ray movie still is.
Remember, they had Charmine Obese Chinoy. That's a joke. It's Charmine Oboy Chinoy or whatever. But you had Charmine Obese bitch who basically did the Rachel Zegler thing. What's crazy is that Charmine Oboy Chinoy, she did the Rachel Zegler thing, and they got rid of her ASAP. That wasn't even like. It was the Saudi Arabian lady who made those documentaries about like women getting thrown asses.
Yeah, the one that they hired for the Ray movie.
They fired her immediately. It was rumored she was going to direct the movie. She had this like interview of being a complete feminist. They got rid of her within just like a second. You never hear of her again. And then Rachel Zegler was just not fired at all. Just allowed to just speak bullshit.
I think it's because they were too far in the shoot. It was too. Far
true. Yeah.
They couldn't just get rid of her. It was easy to get rid of that one chick because they didn't start filming anything yet.
Patty Jenkins, they got rid of her. They treated her so bad with her movie.
Which is crazy. She's a legit director.
Yeah, and then Gina Carano. Apparently, Disney Star Wars loves women. They love women. Sharmina Boyd fired within like just 2 days. Patty Jenkins movie, nothing. Gina Carano fired on social media.
Daisy Ridley, man. Did they have her just stringing along?
Yeah. Like that Ray movie's never coming out. I mean, they said 2027, but guys haven't even started filming yet. Casting hasn't even started.
It's not going to happen, man.
It's just. So
I think people need I think we all need to just be honest and just say that Daisy Ridley is not a leading actress. She's not that person.
Has anybody seen her and not like I remember seeing her in Switched at Birth. She wasn't a good actress there. She wasn't good in just that. I've seen her in just longer form TV, like just that show. I was like, she's terrible, she's a terrible actress. And then when someone told me she was the leading actress of a Star Wars movie, I was like, wait, what? Daisy Ridley. I was like, this is the bitch that got knocked up by a rich dude's kid. She had an autistic kid, and I was like, I remember who she was. I'm like, she's terrible. Her acting sucks. I think it's just bad. Like her, I don't like her acting, nor do I like Henry Cavill's acting. Both of them are just not good.
So don't you besmirch the Cavalry, okay? He is awesome.
Henry Cavill's overrated.
He can be any character he wants to be. But I will get on board this Daisy Ridley bashing train. I just saw her as some sort of like window cleaner action star. It really did not come off as believable. And then I saw her in some swimming movie as well. I don't know. She's not super likable.
Oh my god!
But,
I forgot. She was in the Hercule Poirot. She was in Kenneth Branagh's mystery movie. It was the one with the train where Johnny Depp.
Orient
my
Express,
god,
I think.
Orient Express. That was actually pretty good. The twist on that movie, also not expecting it, was pretty good.
Well, it's a remake of an older film, so I mean it's But I heard
you like the remake, or do you like the original more?
No, like the Orient Express is an old film, but they remade it for current times.
She got out acted by every single person in that movie. It was embarrassing. Johnny Depp was borderline not trying, and he still out acted her. Daisy really is just a terrible actress. Like, I don't know why people try to make her a thing. I don't know who was worse, her, John Boyega, or Oscar Isaac. Because Oscar Isaac was.
Look, I'm gonna say something real controversial. I think Rachel Zegler's a better actress than Daisy Ridley. Man,
that's true.
I'll get behind that. I can get behind that one. I believed her in Y2K.
I was kind of cooking with that one a little bit.
I'm gonna stand by that. You know what? I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on that.
Tweet it right now. You gotta tweet it right now. Tweet a picture of this. Okay, do it like this. When you do it, I want you to do it like this. Can we agree Rachel Zegler greater than Daisy Ridley? Just do it just like that. That's how you light up Twitter. That's how you get like at least 100.
I mean, it's a fact, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't think.
Good night, man. Actress. That's the same way I feel about Henry Cavill. Like, man, I can't get behind Henry Cavill. He's just not a good actor. I think he's just mid at best, honestly.
Have you seen Argyle? Come on, man. He's done some bad roles, but still.
Argyle was complete shite.
It is the worst thing. I don't know. I just hated that film so much. But I gotta stand behind Cavalry, man. That dude knows how to do a cameo in a Wolverine Deadpool movie.
He was great in that Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's aspects of that one. You had Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise. And we know how Tom Cruise doesn't like someone phoning it in, because remember that movie, The Edge of Tomorrow, with him and Emily Blunt? Emily Blunt said he pushed her so hard to act really good. The only reason why I think he even acted good in the movie is because Tom Cruise is there. Tom Cruise does not allow people to just run it down on his movies. He does not like it. Is in every movie, no one checks Henry Cavill, and he just doesn't act good. I watch things.
But
you
can't base his acting based off of Justice League, man. That's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder doesn't know how to direct.
But he had BVS too. He had BVS and Man of Steel. He wasn't good in those.
Zack Snyder. Those were all Snyder.
Dude, Zack Snyder is the greatest director of all time, and
look,
I can't say that with a straight face.
Look, I'll always say Zack Snyder is a very good cinematic director. I think that, if he were a DP, he'd be great. He's not a good director, though. Like, he can't bring, the best out of his talent.
I think Gray left us for coffee again. Good Lord. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with, with Zack Snyder. Fucking hell. I watched Army of the Dead, and I thought that is single-handedly one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time. That is.
Oh, so you didn't see either of the Rebel Moons then?
I'm not. No, I told you this. Remember, I think I did. I could be wrong. I told myself to this, and I told people after I see Army of the Dead, and then after I saw how bad it was, I'm never watching any more movies out of this guy post this era. I'll go and watch Watchmen and 300 because those people said those his best ones. No more movies out of this guy. Army of the Dead was just, that is single-handedly, if I had to put a list of top 10 worst movies to come out in the last 5 years, that one is up there at like top 5. That movie is shite.
Rebel Moon might be up there.
Both parts?
It's two of them. They're longer and they're worse. I'm not kidding.
There's nothing worse than Army of the Dead.
I didn't see the second half of it.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't do it.
Don't. There's way more wheat, if that's your thing. He is all about the wheat. But man, it is so much worse. It sucks because that dude has made some really good ones. I loved the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Watchmen was good.
I'll give him
300 wasn't bad.
300 wasn't bad. But that's it. I mean, that's really it. Sucker Punch was some bullshit.
There's some style there, but man, does that movie suck.
Dude,
there's a way that could have been cool.
I'm telling you right now, you got a story where you got 4 hot chicks who are fighting robot samurai, dragons, and zombie Nazis, and you can't make that work?
Yeah, I don't understand.
You can't make that work with 4 hot chicks in schoolgirl outfits?
But keep in mind, the asterisks you talk about, Dawn of the Dead, written by James Gunn, Watchmen and 300, basically written by other IPs, written by other people before,
Okay, but now he's not only the director, he's also the writer, and he's the cinematographer, and he's doing so much other things. In fact, he's not even using lenses that other people have used before. It's new lenses that he created just to capture the glory of the wheat.
And great. He casted Ray Fisher in Rebel Moon. That's how you knew that movie was going to be absolute shite. Ray Fisher. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like 300, I'm pretty sure, wasn't that written by Frank Miller? I could be wrong.
That's a Frank Miller book.
It's all up here. It's all up here. That's why I got the knowledge. That's why I'm top G joking.
And it was a decent movie. It was a solid
Watchmen, basically copy and pasted from Alan Moore's book. Like all the stuff that he's
honestly, I even like the choice he made at the end with Dr. Manhattan instead of the giant octopus thing. I think that was a good call.
You gotta have the weird vagina squid things.
Nah, on screen that would have looked ridiculous, man. I think he made the smart move. And look, as a comic purist, yes, I probably wanted to see the squid. But from a film point of view, the way he went about it was a lot cleaner.
Yeah, it would have looked ridiculous for sure.
I will still. But he straight up has a actual insane cultish fan base after the whole release the Snyder Cut thing. People forget
Snyder Bros are obnoxious.
The release the Snyder Cut thing. Oh my God, man! Remember the articles came out is that he paid. I guess he did something where at the point where he created a whole bunch of Twitter bots to constantly retweet his stuff to garner genuine engagement when in reality it was fake engagement, that he was just basically hiring people to just make these bots for him. I could believe it.
and
Why does the
worst
account
part
just parrot the
is
same
that-
information?
And the Snyder Cut was only just a little bit better than the theatrical cut. I'm like, I'm sorry, like it's 4 hours,
It's
man.
forgettable too, and it's
a
boring.
4-hour movie.
Yeah, and it's forgettable, and it's boring. I'll be honest here. I'd rather watch the Josh Whedon one because it's shorter, and I understand it's horrible. I'm not saying it's not bad. It's bad. It's terrible. But I'd rather watch that when it's faster than a longer movie, which is more boring. His version is just God, man. This like I don't know why people praise that movie. It's literally just slightly better, and it's just more forgettable. Like even if he had released in the theaters, it would still be as hated. It wouldn't be as liked, you know. But hey, there's a reason why Warner Bros. Should be out of business. A random executive saw the engagement that the Snyder Cut thing hashtag was getting all that traction, and it was like, yeah, there's some real money here. Man, how much money did Zach get? Got 70 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh my God. You'll wonder why that company got taken over. That people in that company are retarded, man. But we'll do this last thing before we go. Got about a good 5 minutes up for the show. I have to get some stuff done before I go to Vegas this week. Got to get some videos uploaded for the channel, ready to go get released. What are we doing here with this? What are we doing with this? I don't like either of these movies. This is just not good. This is also insanely just meh. This is just a pile of shit.
Wait, are they saying is that Man of Steel?
They're saying can we agree that BVS is better than Man of Steel?
Oh, absolutely not.
The only thing I liked in Man of Steel more was just that Zod fight.
I just think the Man of Steel had just a more coherent story, man. Like BVS was all over the place.
Yeah, and that Man of Steel story, you could easily destroy it with any logic, but at least it has like you said, at least it has a goal of some sort, you know?
Yeah,
BVS is just trash.
That whole Doomsday thing was so fucking bad.
Oh God, man!
And Doomsday it could be awesome. Like I don't understand how they can't get any of that shit right.
Dude, the
it's like they don't want to earn
Doomsday better than
yeah.
a BVS.
Superman Lois did it better. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Superman Lois did Doomsday so much better.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah. I just like people say, oh, just got to watch the Ultimate version. That's just a longer, more boring version.
That is a weird Sophie's choice, though. If you have to watch one of those, which of those do you watch now?
Shit. Like,
I don't want to watch either of those again.
I don't want to watch longer versions of a bad, incoherently written movie. I'd rather just watch the short version. You know? That's just how I feel.
Oh, I got suckered into watching the Snyder cut of each of the Rebel Moons, too. Do not do that. It is just so much more wheat, but shown from a different angle. It's weird.
I still remember the Snyder cut of Watchmen, and I'm like, no, I mean, look, Watchmen is one of my favorite books. I mean, I'm sure for any comic book fan, it's probably their favorite book as well, or one of them.
Oh yeah.
But the Snyder cut of Watchmen was very true to the comic, but to the point where it didn't need to be. You know what I mean? Like he added stuff that we didn't need for a movie. You know what I mean? Like he added like the pirate story that was I always forget the name of it, the Black Sails or something like that. But he added all that into the movie, and I'm like, we didn't need that, you know?
Can you go make me dinner? Because since you're a woman, but you know, that's just what you guys tend to do, honestly. 300 was the movie I realized I'm turned on by violence. Yeah, me too. Huh.
Well, all the guys were half naked in that, so I'm sure she.
I was going to say. Well, I think MSK liked that as well. That's where he realized
I am
something
heterosexual.
else as well. Sure.
No, I mean the girl who wrote that. I'm sure she.
Oh God. Oh, good Lord, man. Yeah, Zack Snyder is just one of the most overrated directors of all time. His movies are not good. Like even just the DC ones, Man of Steel, not good. BVS, not good. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Arguably just meh, not good. Army of the Dead, bad. Army of the Dead,
he's not
trash.
He's not horrible, but I think he needs to be restrained. And currently, they're giving him free reign. And
his wife does it apparently.
I think he's a good cinematic director. I think that his visually he's good. Outside of that, though, he's not. So maybe he should just be a DP.
So like my wife just getting DP'd. No? Dang, that joke almost landed. God damn it. What else? Oh
So
my
close,
goodness.
MSK.
I never saw the rest of these movies when they came out. I saw the first one. It was one with Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend, wife, or whatever. It was called X or Pearl or whatever. It was called X first.
Oh,
yeah.
You never saw those, man? Oh,
Oh,
dude,
I
they're
saw
awesome.
Mia
X.
Goth.
Man,
Yeah,
Mia
Mia
Goth. Yeah, I
Goth
saw
is
the first
awesome.
one. The first one is it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
Pearl was great, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you
they
mean
shot it at the
X,
exact
you're
same
talking
time
about
as
X,
they
Yeah,
made
right?
I've
X.
only seen X.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you got to watch Pearl. Pearl was like, honestly,
Okay.
it's 1,000 times better than X.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah.
people like it a lot more.
X is
I have
really
a soft spot
cliche.
for X.
It's not bad. It's
X
really
is good.
It's
No,
cliche, but it's
I liked X. But Pearl just has a better story. And the third movie, though,
he got a bigger budget.
it falls apart, man. The third story, what's the name of it?
Maxine.
Maxine. It's not great. It's not great.
Oh my god! Remember?
I like it, but yeah, I definitely like X and Pearl.
Remember
a lot more.
Malignant? Oh god, that was bad. Malignant. Oh, it was trash.
These are a different caliber than that. Do not compare it to Malignant.
Malignant was so
Yeah,
bad.
no, definitely not that bad.
God, holy shit. Malignant. What else horror movies here that came out? Oh, I watched Quiet Place Part 2. That was good. I like that one. Yeah, it's not been
Have you seen
all bad.
have you seen the latest Quiet Place?
No, I didn't get a chance yet. Did you like
Origin? Okay. It was fun.
You didn't see Day One or whatever?
it? No, because I hate you both.
It was fun.
It was. You also get to see the dude who's going to be, Johnny Blaze or Flame On in the next Fantastic Four.
What if I
that
don't want
was
to flame
him,
on?
huh?
Yeah, he plays a really quiet character, so I don't know.
Well,
It was unlike his Stranger Things one where he plays the rocker kid Eddie or whatever.
I will always vouch for Ana de Armas. People should go watch her movie with Ben Affleck, Deep Water.
Oh yeah, because she's hot as hell too.
She was doing some freaky horrorist nice stuff in that movie. Watch Deep Water for Ana de Armas's hand and mouth gestures. Just
I thought you were saying Deep Blue Sea is where it's at, not Deep
Deep Blue
Water.
Sea is good. I like that movie. It's very fun. I enjoyed Deep Blue Sea. But Ana de Armas in Deep Water was woo! Damn.
You know what? I haven't seen it, but it's on my list now.
No. If you want to see her act like a straight up whore, oh my god.
I'm already looking it up right now.
There are some scenes there where she wants her ass licked. I'm not even kidding. I wouldn't joke about Ana de Armas. That's my girl.
You had me at hello. Let me see.
Miss Sparkles is
Ana de
insulted.
Armas. It's great that people say she can't act. She can. I don't know why people say she can't act. I literally don't get it. I don't know what you're looking at. Gal Gadot really can't act. Ana de Armas can. Ana de Armas definitely has some range to her. I'll be okay. I'll be black and tell your guest you crack.
She was saying earlier, make sure to tell your guest that she likes your style. Verbal Riot, she really digs your style. You look nice, and I think she complimented your voice earlier as well.
Oh,
so.
thank you. I wasn't even looking at the comments. I should have been doing that.
Ben Affleck, I don't know. Ben Affleck, I don't know why you got rid of Ana de Armas, but whatever, man. Just you went for J-Lo. It's like, what is wrong with you, man?
Well, she's just Jenny from the block, man.
I mean, J-Lo isn't a bad second place for sure. I mean,
No.
And she's
Especially,
seasoned. I mean, she's like 52, so she's probably buck wild.
That's what I was going to say. I was trying to come up with a nice way to say it. Seasoned is probably the best way that you could possibly say that. But, man, she doesn't look 52. Just, damn.
Yeah. She pays for the best surgeon.
That's true.
Yeah, I was just saying for Deep Water, that's a movie that you just kind of Netflix and chill with a girl.
Are you watching Deep Water right now, MSK? Is that what that long pause was about?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Man.
Emily's got a point. Ben Affleck looked real strange with the whole Last Duel thing. He does not look good as a blonde.
Last Duel.
I got 3 trigger warnings going into that movie. It's the only time in theaters where they've been like, okay, you know that this has a scene in it, right? They show it 3 times, so be prepared. And then the usher also told me that, and the ticket. It was weird, man. So
wait, what scene?
It's called Last Duel. So somebody gets assaulted in a certain way, and they show it from 3 different points of view. So
Oh,
they
Jesus.
made sure to like really tell me that this happens, which is weird because it's not like super graphic. It's not like one of those French films like Irreversible or whatever. It's just
Right.
yeah, it was weird, but I don't know. It was post COVID, so
It's
they
not,
had to
like
warn the small audience.
Jodie Foster on the pinball machine and The Accused, right?
No, it's nothing like that, man. So like I don't know, but whatever. I got real warned. Made for an awkward date.
I was just looking at this hot
Jesus.
Brazilian girl. Yeah. It's a movie where Ridley Scott was like, well, why didn't no one go and see it? And it's like, well, your movie has a grape scene. That's not, you take a girl out and you try to, probably hope to blow her back out after the movie's over. You show her that. Yeah, that's probably gonna be very weird. Just pointing it out there.
It was kind of weird,
Jesus.
but it's not the worst film that he's made.
Oh gosh.
I actually went on a date to see that one crazy movie, Eyes Wide Shut. This is back in the day with Tom Cruise.
Good Lord.
Yeah, no, look, she picked the movie, man. I'm like, okay, I wasn't sure about it,
Okay.
but she was into it. I mean, it revealed a lot about her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining. I'm like, yeah, let's go watch this weird orgy movie. You know what I mean?
Gosh.
That's awesome. I had a weird one where we went out to Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's not the best date movie. It's kind of odd. You see some very graphic scenes.
Good Lord. But I always will tell people this: if you want to go watch some crazy shit, usually like whatever happens to those Purge movies, those used to be wild.
I love the Purge, man. Like
they were fun,
that was
weren't they?
Series, man.
Yeah, they're supposed to do a very last one. That I understand. Man, that the newest one that came out like a couple years ago was yikes. And they hired a bunch of just no name Mexicans to lead the movie.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, man, they need to bring some of those Purge movies back. Those were fun. But yeah, gonna end up wrapping up here. I do have to get some stuff done. I got to get some videos ready to be uploaded for this channel and my comic book one before I go on. Go to the meetup in Vegas, have sex with some girls, drive my Lambo up there, listen to some rap music, say the N-word repeatedly because that's what we do as our people. We glorify violence.
One of those sounds accurate. I'm pretty sure you're doing one of those.
All right, we'll start with our guest tonight, Robo Riot. Maybe he comes back next Monday. Maybe. Gonna have to probably give him a big contract to come back. Good old 25 mil for 4 years. He's gonna have his own show called basically The Black Guy Runs Everything. Damn, it's a good idea right there in my brain. You'll be the Scott Jennings of the show, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, man.
So what you got planned coming up, man?
Yeah, you guys can catch me tomorrow at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I'm not sure. AM. I'll be with Craig on Side Scrollers. I will be hanging out with George the Giant Slayer Wednesday, and you guys can catch me on my show, VRL, Thursday, 6 p.m. It just came back. We were on a sort of like a 5-month hiatus, but VRL is finally back live, and I will be there Thursday. So find me there.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and be on the lookout for my my Black Snape video coming out.
I'm pretty sure the casting made you very, very happy. You're
I feel seen now. I feel seen. I feel represented as a black man, as a black wizard. I feel represented.
Yeah. One of your tweets
I'm looking forward to hearing an
big.
informed opinion as opposed to MSK's. So hell yeah, I'll definitely be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, man. Like, hey, now that we have a Black Snape, can he start twerking? Can he start throwing it back? Is he gonna start rapping or something?
I just want him to have a cane and a pimp cape.
Oh god.
I think they'll meet you halfway. I think he'll have a cape. That'll be pretty cool.
And cast spells and jive.
Oh, I was looking at this girl.
That'd be kind of awesome.
Freaking boobs were hanging out. They look pretty good.
I'm literally writing a better character than what we're going to get in Harry Potter.
Oh God, man. Well, Gray, what you got planned coming up? Are you going to tell darn Kid to come on the show and be a guest? You have to
Oh
give
no,
anything.
dude! I'm trying to tell her to stay clear from here. You know, keep yourself
True.
pure. Don't go near MSK. Yeah. So I was gonna launch my new show. It was supposed to come out on 420, but you know, family things with helping somebody with a wheelchair and then death and all that. I've pushed it back till May. So new show May. If you just can't get enough of me, I think I'm doing a debate on Wednesday. I think it's basically some guy is taking Douglas Murray's position in the whole Douglas Murray Dave Smith debate that happened a few days ago on Rogan, and I guess I'm supposed to champion Dave Smith's points. So good times, and then yeah, go check out the aforementioned That Darn Kidda's channel for the thinkers every Thursday night. I don't remember if we have something set this time, but I got a feeling we might be talking about that very same Joe Rogan debate. So yeah, go over YouTube, That Darn Kidda. That's about all I got going on. What do you have going on, MSK? What's happening in your world?
As you guys know, for me, I'm driving my Lambo and I'm banging some hot strippers. No, not black. Nope. I don't. Black girls are a little too manly for my taste. I prefer the tacos and the vanilla ice cream and the soy sauce ones. You know, that's just my opinion. So, as you guys know, for me, I'll stream either League of Legends or Master Duel later on tonight. I'm gonna work on getting basically a combination of 2 videos to be released on the channel for the days that I'm not going to be here. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Basically just getting some content ready to be uploaded. That way you guys won't be without content the days that I'll be gone. And I'll have the show with me and Last Comic Fan tomorrow, one with Jay Viper. And then, yeah, after that, I'll be in Vegas for the meetup. Then I'll be back. And then we'll just resume things on Friday with me and Lunchbox Warren. We're going to do an episode where it's just a jumping on point. That's what DC's thing is right now. They want to get you in jumping on points. So we'll have an episode of us just talking, comic with this, and then the week after, we'll get into doing the comic book reviews again. But tomorrow, look out for me, obviously banging my wife. And Gray believes me.
I certainly do not.
Why not? Do you not believe me, sir?
You know, kind of all the clues you've laid out.
But I always tell the truth, and I've never lied in my life.
I'm doubting that.
Yeah,
but, have a good time in Vegas.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So that means, yeah, I can't see Gray on Wednesday because I'll be literally gone. You know, I'll be gone.
Turns out
man.
I don't need to make an excuse this time.
Why won't you miss me, man? You'll miss me and you'll be like, oh my god, my black friend is gone. I can't see myself in him anymore at this point.
What? That phrasing, sir.
Yeah, that's kind of gay, but it was great having a verbal Riot on for the show. Hopefully he comes back next week if we did a good impression. Maybe I've got to give him that big contract. That Monopoly money is going to be pretty good right there. It's so crazy.
You're not good with the impressions,
dude. That's if you're able to do a show, man. You're coming back from Vegas. You're going to be like wore out.
No, I'm going to go even harder. That's when you got to go even harder. There's no rest. That's my motto. I'll rest when I'm dead. When I'm literally in a casket being put into the ground, that's when I'll rest.
Dude, when I get back from Vegas, I'm beat up, man.
That's because you're drinking like every day. God. And you said you fried your brain with weed.
Well, that too.
Well, that doesn't fry it. It rejuvenates. Come on. Man.
Yeah. It massages the brain, actually.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Well, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully you guys had a great Monday. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the